to switch back to English because now we have Shawn Carney. He's a Mustang vehicle engineer in charge of a very particular part, maybe one of the parts that we enjoy most from the Mustang. How are you, Shawn?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for taking the time. I understand that you are actually, we interrupted you working at some tests still for the Ford Mustang, right?
Yeah, that's all right. We're just we're trying to close out some of the work to get the car ready for the public.
So, can you tell us about your part of the job here and the team that works in the new 2015 Ford Mustang?
So I work in an area called vehicle engineering, and specifically the group is our noise and vibration engineering team. And so, in a nutshell, what our team is working to do is make the car meet all of your expectations as a customer for how the car sounds, how it feels. Make sure that what we call the DNA of the Mustang is present, no matter which engine is under the hood of your Mustang. And our job is to make our customers happy. We want to and happy in the sense that when you get in the car, you fire it up, and you start pulling away. You're transported someplace else. You're leaving work, and you're in the car. That just makes you feel better, makes you happy.
Okay, I have here a little ringtone. So more or less, that's what we're talking about. Huh? You're part in that's your creation.
Yeah. I think the ringtone that's out there is from our Mustang GT with our 5-liter V8, and that was just a sample of some of the audio delights you'll get with the new car.
So, you work specifically on the sound of the engine, or also in what you don't want to hear when you're driving the car inside the cabin?
Yeah. Well, what I do is I work with a large engineering team, but in the end, I'm responsible for what you hear and feel as you're driving the vehicle, or if you're standing on the street corner and the Mustang drives by, what you hear. That's what I'm responsible for. And the way that we work together as a team to deliver that driving experience is that I'll set the targets for how the car needs to sound on the inside, and then we'll work with, say, our engine noise and vibration team. Or the engine development engineers. We'll work with the exhaust system engineers, the induction system engineers, as well as the people that help design the body itself. The body can act like a speaker, and it can either enhance certain sounds in a good way, or it can actually create some bad sounds that we don't want to hear. So what we try to do is engineer the full vehicle as one big system where we're kind of creating a clean palette. That's free of what we'll call error states. They're going to be the whines and hashy, trashy kind of sounds that if we don't do our jobs, that's a lot of what you'll end up hearing. And then we'll shape the sounds that come from the exhaust and the induction system so that they're all blending in a certain way, so that when you hit the throttle, you're getting that total experience it's mixed just right. It's sort of like a mixing engineer in a studio. They're making a recording for a band or something. In a sense, we're doing something similar, and we have to work with different engineering teams to help bring it all together, and then so it plays out correctly in the car.
Yeah. So Shawn, I understand that other manufacturers, and I don't know if Ford does it, create artificially some sounds. Is this the case, or is this the natural sound of the engine? And then, you just make sure that with all the body parts that go into the car, that's what would you hear something nice? What's the sound that we're hearing?
Well, so for our Mustang GT and the 5-liter, most of what you're hearing comes straight from the engine and the exhaust. A few years ago, we made an engineering change to the induction system where we'll pull air into the engine. And that change actually quieted down a big portion of what you'll hear in the vehicle. So what we did this back on the 2010 model year Mustang, where we brought in what we called an induction sound tube. So it's actually just taking the sound that's already there, and it's bringing it closer to you. So we actually have a hole in the dash of the car, and we're actually piping the acoustics from the induction system right into the car. And it's shaped a little bit, so we're tuning it so it's not too loud. The induction system's a pretty loud component of the powertrain, so we don't want to blow you out of the seat. So we use some tools we have to quiet it down a little bit so that it blends really well with the exhaust.
So it's like creating, it's like creating a musical instrument from what I'm hearing, right? Sort of.
Yeah, to a degree. It's kind of it's interesting in that a lot of the things that my team will tune, we'll call them like passive devices. There's no compensating for if you maybe the engine calibration guys that they're the guys that'll tune how the engine will run for performance, but they also have to balance fuel economy and emissions. Sometimes they're doing certain things with the engine controls that'll change the sound of the engine, not always for the better. So what we have to do is work with them, learn where to make sure that we're not allowing some of those sounds to come into the interior, so that you're always getting this smooth, consistent sound.
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing, and most of us out here on this side, on the public and the consumers, we don't realize how much work goes into a modern car. I mean, they're like very, very complicated pieces of engineering and design and all that. So, like, how many people would you say like work in not only in your team but like the whole Mustang team?
Just within the engineering ranks, so it's well over 1,000. I would guarantee it, and that would include not only Ford engineers, but also our partner suppliers. So we'll just take, for instance, our exhaust supplier, the company that we work with to help develop our exhaust system and manufacture it. They have their own large team that they help us with the initial design, the development, as we're tuning the exhaust system. They'll go through durability to make sure that it's going to survive and meet our durability requirements. And then you go to manufacturing. And these are all, in many cases, these are all different engineering teams, even within that one supplier. So you multiply that by the number of both Ford engineering teams and the suppliers that we use, and it's a very large number of people required to make this all work. It's really an amazing bit of teamwork.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. I mean, not only all the knowledge, all the work that all the long hours and all that, but just like coordinating like 1,000 engineers sounds like a pretty daunting task. And just like to like.
Oh yeah, it is. And what it really comes down to is you have to have a lot of trust across our team, that the various leaders of each individual engineering group are going to go and do what they promise, deliver what they're supposed to deliver, and then when we bring it home within my vehicle engineering team. In vehicle engineering, we're one of our chief engineers a long time ago described vehicle engineering as if we didn't exist, you just have a bunch of nuts and bolts, and you bolt the car together, and whatever you get. And our job is to make sure that when you bolt everything together,
it works.
All those different parts. Yep, all those different parts are doing what they're supposed to do. So when it comes together, you get this nice, high quality, refined, fun car that's gonna last a long time.
Wow, it's amazing. So I was reading your profile, and I saw that 2013 Engineer of the Year. So congratulations for that. What was that for? Just a general award, or was one project in particular?
That was just for the general work that I do. It was within our vehicle engineering department here at Ford. It was for Powertrain, noise and vibration engineer. So it was primarily for the contributions to Mustang over the past couple of years in particular.
Well, congratulations, and again, I mean, I've seen the car in pictures, in shows. I can't wait to drive it and obviously hear it, which is one of, as you were saying, and everybody expects something in particular from a Mustang. So if you allow me, I want to put a few more seconds of it. So there are three. I got too excited with that. So there are three variants, right, for the engines. Are there particular sounds that you create for all of them, or adjust?
Yep, for all of them. So we've had those engines, the basic engines, around for a fair bit of time, and I've been a part of the team for 11 years now.
Wow.
Going on 12. Yep, so we had a really intimate understanding of what those cars needed to sound like, what they needed to feel like. And I'm a longtime Mustang owner. I've had lots of V8 Mustangs over the years.
Excellent.
And we have a certain formula for those that we understand, and we can go and deliver.
Okay.
They still take a lot of work. They still take a lot of work, but at the same time, there's a pretty good understanding of it. And then when we got to the new EcoBoost 4-cylinder, wow, we haven't had one of those in a Mustang in a long time. My first Mustang that I ever bought in high school was a 1984 Mustang SVO, the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder turbo, and that's like one of the cars I'm working on today now.
Excellent.
That same 2.3, only the power output it surpasses that old SVO by a wide margin.
Thank you, Shawn Carney, my Mustang vehicle engineer. Congratulations again. Thank you very much for taking the time. I know, as you said, you are actually working in the test track, so thank you for that in particular. Okay, and I can't wait to see the car on the streets and start driving it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Este programa fue una producción de National Latino Broadcasting.